Hello, and welcome back to My Artist Friend, the podcast about the artist behind the art. I'm your host, Becky Helms, and I am also your artist friend for today. Hopefully, I'll have some more interviews soon, but right now, you just got me, and we're just going to roll with it. All right. So today, it is kind of the end of April. Q2 has started. Spring is springing. Finally, in Michigan. Oh my gosh, it took long enough. I don't, knock on wood. But I'm feeling the need to go over goals again and projects. It's been about a month since we did kind of a personal project update, and I haven't done a kind of how to review your goals since January-ish. So today I wanted to do kind of spring goals or kind of Q2 goals, I guess, if you want to say it in a more businessy way. So first thing I do when I review my goals is I go back to what my Q1 goals were, my overarching yearly goals, and see how I've been doing with those. So as someone who goes off on many a tangent in my personal and professional life, I need to have those goals written down. I still did not do that. I don't know how many episodes I've had talking about goals and projects and things. And I'm like, you have to write them down. You have to write them down or you will forget. And I never do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I promise. So my big 2025 goals were to sew clothes, crochet something to wear as well, make a big old giant quilt, like a queen king size quilt. And I kind of added to this is to fix up my office. It's gotten even worse as the year has gone by. And finish the dining room. We have a big dining room project that we've been working on. I think I talked about it in an episode. If not, there's a newsletter about it. I'll try to find it. Anyway, those are my big goals. And I've made progress on the dining room, and that is about it. And honestly, the only reason I made progress on it is because we had people coming over and I didn't want it to still look the same. I'm an Enneagram 3. I can't help it. I will panic clean the house for like a full day. And then when someone comes over, I'll be like, sorry about the mess. You know what I mean? I can't help it. But I did make progress on that. So that's something. One thing I am finding as I'm going through my goals and things, I'm spending more time on my phone searching through Pinterest and looking at Substack as opposed to kind of Instagram or TikTok or something like that. And I love scrolling through Pinterest and finding inspiration for crafts and for the house and things like that. But I was thinking about it the other day, and there really is the disconnect of I'm looking at things that I want to do, but I'm not taking the time to go back and actually do them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's a neurodivergent thing, Enneagram 3, Scorpio, water sign, who knows what it is. But I love looking at things to do. And maybe it's the perfectionist tendencies of there's so much possibility and then I don't pick the thing to actually get done. You know what I mean? But it's the potential of it all. It's the, ooh, I could do this and I could do this and I could do that. But I need to sit down and actually do the thing. And I think that's why I've been putting so many things off. I've been gathering all these ideas and all these fun things that I want to do, but I need to schedule the time to actually sit down, pick something and do it. Like there's nothing else. There's literally nothing else to do besides that. Yeah, I want to get things done and I have to sit down and schedule the time for myself. So I don't know if you're like me, if it's the overthinking, the perfectionism, the kind of staying on this hamster wheel of possibility. You know what I mean? Like it has the possibility to be really great still. But if I get started, maybe I won't do a great job and I'll mess it up. But if I'm thinking about it, then it has the possibility to still be good. You know what I mean? maybe this is a conversation for my therapist instead. But I want to take the time, at least in Q2, to sit down and actually try something. And what was it? I saw this reel the other day on Instagram where it was like they were talking about how they were continually surprised that trial and error contains error too. And I feel that in my bones. I don't want to mess it up, so I just keep it at arm's length, and I don't want to do that anymore. So for my big goals, for my 2025 goals, I'm going to grab one of them and I'm going to do it. Now, for the spring specific goals, it's finally getting warmer out. There is more sunshine. It's very exciting. And so I have a few spring goals, a few things that I want to do in the springtime with the family. And I thought it would be fun to chat about it here. So the first thing I want to do is start gardening. So we moved here kind of midsummer in 2023. And we didn't know if anything was going to come up. So we kind of waited to plant anything, do anything new. Plus, we had just moved. Like, it was way too much to try and do anything with the yard after we moved. And so 2024, I was like, let's see what comes up and maybe I'll plant a couple of things. Turns out we got 2 daffodils and that was it. And I took a little bit of time with a garden bed in the backyard to just toss out some zinnias and some cosmos and just kind of wildflowers that are native to Michigan, and just to see if I could grow anything. And a few of them popped up. The deer loved them. Bunnies, forget about it. I was the talk of the town. They loved eating up my flowers, but I managed to grab a couple of them and I pressed them so I could kind of keep them for posterity. So I know I can mildly grow something, and I want to try this year to kind of dig up that bed again. I've got to do a lot of weeding, and the people who lived before us were very minimal with their yard work, which like I totally get, but I'd like to do something a little bit more exciting in the front. So there's a lot of rocks that they put down, and I am shoveling so many to try and get those up and repurpose them in the back for a big garden. And I want to do a raised bed. I bought some seedling potatoes, so maybe I could grow some potatoes this year. And I need to get those in the ground like now. But yeah, I want to do gardening this spring, even if it's just transplanting, super cute tulips or something in the front. Like I want to have something fun. We have a beautiful cherry tree in the front, which I absolutely love, but it only flowers for about a week and then it's gone. So I want to have some cute flowers in the front. I think that'd be fun. And I can do it. I'm going to try and start small. I'm going to try not to bite off more than I can chew, but I do have a running list, and it's okay if I don't get it all done. I have to be gentle with myself. But yeah, gardening is number 1 on the list to do. And speaking of flowers, I want to visit the botanical gardens out here. There are a couple of different ones. We've been to one that's a little bit further out, but I think there's one in town that's supposed to be really cool, especially when everything starts blooming in the spring. So I want to be sure to take the time to go visit the botanical gardens and take a lot of pictures and have some fun. We went to a tulip farm last year called De Bucks that was actually out between us and Detroit. I know Holland is obviously the place to go for tulips, but their hotels fill up quickly and it's a little more crowded. So it was really fun going to this local tulip farm. I can show you the reel that I took last year, so hopefully we get to go back there too. But I want to plant flowers this spring, and I want to look at flowers this spring because Michigan is so beautiful and I love all the flowers and the foliage and when everything starts turning green. So that's the big thing for the springtime for me and for the family. The last two things I want to do kind of personally this spring is I want to make sure that I'm walking every day, or at least every day that I'm able. I want to get outside, get that vitamin D. I need to be outside in nature. I need to touch grass. The winter was very cold and very gloomy, and all of the birds are coming back, and I have my little Merlin app so I can see who's hollering. I love that app so much. It's a Merlin app and it's bird calls. So you can open it up, just start a recording, and then you can see what different birds are tweeting around you. And it's so great in the springtime when all the songbirds are back up north. And I just want to take my walks. We have a little creek nearby, and I just know it's really good for my nervous system to be outside, to be near water, to be in the green and near the birds. And yeah, I want that to be a daily practice for me to get out at some point during the day. And then I also want to make a point to send more snail mail. I've been gathering some cards when I go to kind of indie shops and see the greeting cards that they have. I love an all-purpose just because card, and I want to start sending them to my friends. I want to send them more little things and just a little note so they know that I'm thinking about them. So snail mail is on the list of things to do during the springtime. So those were kind of my personal goals for the springtime. And I do have kind of Q2 business goals, even though it's not really a business. I want it to be. I mentioned before that I want to hopefully start a print-on-demand shop. I started messing with it in Shopify, and I think I might reopen the shop soon. I don't know. That is something that I need to make some plans for. So if that's something that you're excited about, can you let me know? It would be lots of gnomes, lots of cats, probably just shirts, hoodies, mugs, things like that. So I do want to move forward on that project this month. Hopefully that can help to sustain the podcast and the kind of work-related things. Substack is amazing because it is free, but there are still other tools like the one I'm using to record this right now, and my website, like my main website, my URLs, and stuff like that, that still cost money. So hopefully the shop can help sustain that. And I also want to work out this quarter. I've talked about it enough. Lord Almighty. I want to figure out something fun on Substack that I can add as a paid tier, something. I think it's another one of those things where my life as an overthinker, my life as a perfectionist, I'm just getting in my own way, and I can change things. I can try some things out. If it doesn't work, I can always change it up. So I need to remember that. I need to get it into my head. And same thing with, my big goals of like, I've been looking at things to do and not making the time. I just need to make the time. Maybe I'll just put it on the calendar, something that I can see a concrete date, even if it's arbitrary, just so I can put aside that time to work on that project, because I really love being on Substack. And it's so funny. I was looking at my stats, and if you want to kind of a peek behind the curtain, my newsletter that I write every Friday gets more views than my podcast, which is wild because it doesn't take as long to produce, obviously. There's no huge editing necessary. And I was looking at it and the things that do the best. So for the podcast, my most downloaded podcast ever since I started in November, it's been almost 6 months, is my snark theme for April. 291 downloads. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then the 12 books that changed my life, which I love. That one was a fun one to do. I had like 260. Yeah, 263 total, which is wild to me. So, I love that. So when I'm looking at things to do, I definitely think it'll be newsletter related, and I think it should definitely be like book or craft related. I didn't realize the snart episodes are constantly some of the best performing ones, which is really exciting to me. So maybe I'll do more snart stuff. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll take some time and figure out something fun to do on Substack that maybe folks would like to subscribe to in that way. So those are my professional goals, which are basically the same as Q1, but you know what? It's been a weird health year. I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace for it, but also I'm going to put some things on the calendar and make myself accomplish some things. So hopefully, if we do another one of these in the third quarter, then there will be a little bit more traction on them. And you can always check out the newsletter, because I do put crafts and things like that. So that would be a good place to kind of track it a little bit more weekly, the projects that I actually get done. But yeah, that's the plan. If you kind of go back to last quarter, the Q1 mid-quarter check-in, basically it's the same as the kind of creative retrospective episode that I did before too. It's all about reviewing your goals and keeping them visible, reviewing your current projects, seeing what's working, what's not, and then adjusting your expectations and recommitting to your plans. So I think that's what I'm doing now. I have time for my 2025 goals still. Obviously, it's not even May yet, so I'm gonna be excited. I'm still gonna keep up the energy and know that I can still get these things done. And for spring, I definitely want to take advantage of the weather and the season, and hopefully get out and see some flowers and get some stuff done personally around the house. And we'll see what kind of progress I can make. And I think the theme and the idea for this episode is to stop overthinking and stop trying to perfect your ideas and just do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be good. You just have to do it and then move on from there. So that's going to be my theme for this Q2, this spring season. Is it doesn't have to be good. It just has to get done. So hopefully we can all move forward on our projects together. If you have spring goals or like fun spring things that you like to do in your neck of the woods, let me know. I would love to know what you guys are up to in the springtime where you are. I know in Texas it has been warm for a while, so you guys are probably like, what's the big deal? But it's very exciting for me to have weather in the 60s consistently now. So I'm going to take advantage. All right. I hope this episode wasn't too rambly. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. Be sure to check me out on Instagram and sign up on Substack to get my newsletters, because my weekly newsletter is a lot of fun. And then I send an email out on Tuesdays for the podcast, so you never miss an episode. And yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye, friend.